العلم أشراف مطلوب وطالبه لله أكرام من يمشي على قدمه. العلم نور مبين يستضيء به أهل السعادات والجهال في الظلم.
And then the third pillar of knowledge. So we have the first pillar, which is believing in Allah, and we said it's of 4 elements. And the second pillar of knowledge is believing in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we said it's also of 4 elements. And then the religion of Islam, and then he made a condition on that, bil adilla, with the proofs and evidences. So you don't take the religion without proofs and evidences. What are the proofs and evidences? Many people, many youth today misunderstand this. They say proof and evidences are only what we find in the Quran and the Sunnah. Like, what about how they are understood? How the Sahaba explained it? How the ulama understood it and explained it? Some youth come today and they wipe away all the understanding of the Sahaba and the scholars through the history, and they want to come from their own, open the Quran and take the proofs and evidences. Subhanallah. That's incorrect, yeah. That's incorrect. We have to take the evidences from the Quran and Sunnah based on the understanding of the pious predecessors. Based on the understanding of the pious predecessors. Not based on our own intellect. No, that's incorrect. Incorrect. That's why Ibn Mas'ud said, "Ittabi'u wa la tabtadi'u faqad kufitum." Follow and do not innovate. You've been given the sufficiency. Khalas. That's the best in understanding, because they were at the time of Rasulullah. The Quran was sent down in their language, in their tongue. They understand it very well. And the second matter that we have to learn is, the second matter that we have to be upon is acting upon this knowledge. Okay, we had the knowledge, awareness of Allah, awareness of the Prophet, awareness of the religion of Islam with the proofs and evidences. And then we had the knowledge. We have to implement it. Many of our brothers today, they do have the knowledge, but very unfortunately, they don't implement. They don't implement. Ya ikhwa, knowledge, what is knowledge? Many people misunderstand what is the meaning of knowledge. They think knowledge is what you see behind me. Books, memorizing, information. This is not knowledge. No, this is not knowledge. Knowledge is what the Salaf said, the past predecessors. They said, ليس العلم عن كثرة الرواية إنما لكن العلم التقوى. Knowledge is not how much narrations you memorize, you have. No. But knowledge is fearing Allah. Fearing Allah in what you say, what you do, how you deal with people, with your wife, with your children, with your relatives, with your parents. You have to be just, you have to be fair, you have to fear Allah. Fearing Allah is absent today, especially, I say it, especially with those who claim that they are students of knowledge. Very unfortunately. Wallahi, wallahi, rarely we see the Muslims fear Allah. Subhanallah. And they just, the shaitan comes to them. As Ibn al-Jawzi, rahimahullah, said in his book, Talbis Iblis, how Iblis make the plans around everyone with what suits him, what suits his size of knowledge and taqwa. And the shaitan comes and put the trap and plan for some of the students of knowledge, convincing them that no one can know what they do or find the mistakes that they are doing or the false things that they are doing. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. They think that they are clever. Clever with whom? With human. You're not clever with Allah. Allah knows everything in your heart, in your brain, in everything. You can't hide anything. You can't hide anything from Allah. So you have to fear Allah. That is the knowledge. Knowledge is not just, as I say always, knowledge is like human. Human is of two things, two combinations, body and soul. Knowledge is the same, body and soul. Body is what you see behind me. This is the body of knowledge. But where is the soul? The soul is in your heart. Taqwa. Taqwa. Prophet ﷺ said, ألا إن في الجسد مضغة إذا صلحت صلح الجسد كله ألا وهي القلب. Said, indeed, there is a flesh and the body, if it becomes good, the whole body becomes good. And when it becomes bad, the whole body becomes bad. And then he named it. He said, indeed, it is the heart. And in the other hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, التقوى ها هنا. And he pointed to his heart. Taqwa ha huna, 3 times he said. Where is the taqwa? Where is the taqwa when a brother who is Salafi, who is a student of knowledge, as he called himself, because he bought books and he started memorizing some information, he could consider himself a student of knowledge. And then he oppressed his wife by many different ways. And he knows, but he try to, find a way. Doesn't he read that in the Quran, in the Sunnah? He doesn't know that he's going to be given his book and he will see and find everything and nothing can be hidden. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. He oppress and be unjust and be unfair. Subhanallah. They use the ilm to get the advantage of dunya. That's it. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And the shaitan comes and beautifies that what they do for them. And they believe. صدق عليهم إبليس ظنه. Iblis made them believe what he said. So my brothers, we have to act upon the knowledge. One calls to Salafiyya, but he doesn't follow the Salaf. One calls to honesty, but he is a liar. One calls to trustworthiness, but he is untrustworthy. One calls for justice, but he is unjust and unfair. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Where's the knowledge that you had? You have to act upon it. Ali radiallahu anhu said, Al-ilmu yahtifu bil-amal, fa-in ajabahu illa irtahad. Knowledge calls the action, as if the action responds and comes and work together with the knowledge. Otherwise, the knowledge will leave that body and go. So you have to fear Allah. And then calling to it. Calling to this knowledge that you learn and you act it upon. Don't just take it and hide it. No. And some of our brothers, Allah gave them the ability to gain knowledge. They were accepted in the Islamic University in Medina or Jamiat al-Imam or whatever, and they went. They stayed there for 6 years, more or less, and sought to the ulama. They collected knowledge. They go back and they start negotiating. How much you pay? Or I find someone, masjid pays me more. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Did you go to Medina to get knowledge freely and come and sell it here. Subhanallah. And then you claim that you are, and in his dua he says, Ya Allah, make me from those who you bless from al-Nabiyyin, al-Siddiqeen, al-Shuhada, wa hasan ilayka rafiqa. Subhanallah. You sell your knowledge for dunya. For dunya. And some maybe invited to give a talk. And then he asks, how many people attend there? Maybe he's told 10 or, oh, no. I don't come to such gatherings. My attendees must be at least 100 or 1,000 or something like that. Subhanallah. That's all from the shaitan, ya ikhwa. So you call to your knowledge that you collected and you are acting upon. And then you have to be patient as the fourth matter that we have to know about is to have patience when you seek knowledge, when you act upon it, and when you call people to. You have to seek knowledge. You have to seek, you have to be upon patience. You have to be upon patience. When seeking knowledge, when acting upon it, when calling to it. And then Imam Muhammad Abdul Wahab brought the proof for that from the Quran. Surah Al-Asr. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. By the time, verily mankind is at loss. All mankind is at loss. Except, there's an exemption. Except for those. Who those are? Those who believe. That's one condition. Believe means know, knowledge. You can't believe in something if you don't know it. You have to have the knowledge so you believe. So you have the knowledge and you based on that belief. And they perform righteous deeds. What are these righteous deeds? Knowledge that you have learned. And advise one another towards the truth. What is the truth? The knowledge that you learned and acted upon. And advise one another towards patience. Patience where? And seeking knowledge. And acting upon it and calling. Because all these fields really need massive patience. So you can succeed and survive. And Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah said about this surah, لو ما أنزل الله على خلقه حجة على خلقه إلا هذه السورة كفته. Had Allah not sent down a proof to His creation other than the surah, Surah Al-Asr, it would have been sufficient for them. It would have been sufficient. What does that mean? It has all the rulings? No. But it has the main aspects of worship. The main aspects. Knowledge, which based on fearing Allah and sincerity. Acting upon this knowledge, not acting upon your desire or something else. Not acting upon what you find your people, but acting upon what you find in the with the Prophet. And calling to the truth, not hiding the truth and not calling. Know that you call but to your own desire. La, call to the truth. Calling to the truth. And the fourth is being patient. This is what Imam Shafi'i said it would be sufficient for them. And Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah ta'ala called in his book Al-Sahih, in the book of knowledge, a chapter he titled it by Knowledge Precedes Speech and Actions. Or knowledge comes before speech and actions. And then he quote an evidence for that from Surah Muhammad, ayah 19, where Allah Ta'ala said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, فَأْلَمْ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ لِذَنبِكَ. فَأْلَمْ, it's a command to know. So knowledge precedes actions. أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَاسْتَغْفِرْ, this is actions, deeds. Seeking for forgiveness is a deed. So know that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, and seek forgiveness for your sins. So Imam Bukhari said, he began Allah. So he began. Allah began by mentioning knowledge before speech and action. That is how important knowledge is. It has to precede actions and sayings. Otherwise, if the knowledge does not precede the actions, and the actions do not come after knowledge, then there is a kind of problem and misachievement, misalignment, whatever you want to call it. So we have to learn about that, and we have to know about that. We stop here, inshallah, and continue from next Wednesday with the second chapter. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه.